In 2016, at the exact moment WWE was telling the world that Roman Reigns was untouchable, the entire illusion collapsed. This wasn't just any year for Roman. This was the year he was officially crowned the guy, main events, championship reigns, the full corporate machine behind him. WWE was meticulously crafting an image of Roman as the invincible, unstoppable, hand-picked future of the company. And then one failed wellness test changed everything. On the surface, WWE tried to play it cool. Officially, it was explained away in kayfabe. A short suspension, a quick return, business as usual. But backstage, this was an absolute disaster. The suspension hit at the worst possible time imaginable. Roman wasn't just popular. He was being forced into the spotlight, and a significant portion of the fan base was already rejecting him. They were hostile, suspicious, and tired of how protected he seemed. When the news broke, the reaction from those fans was brutal. The internet exploded. You can't even wrestle clean. So this is the guy they chose? All that push, and he still messed it up. For everyone who already distrusted the Roman Reigns project, this was the ultimate validation. It confirmed every single one of their suspicions. But the real damage wasn't just public perception, it was internal. Behind the scenes, WWE's carefully crafted image of their next superhero shattered overnight. The idea that Roman Reigns was this flawless, corporate-approved champion was gone. For a company as obsessed with control and optics as WWE, this was a full-blown legitimacy crisis. And for Roman Reigns himself, it was pure humiliation. This wasn't some rookie mistake or a minor hiccup in a learning phase. This was happening at the absolute peak of his mega push, the moment he was meant to solidify his place at the top. And he failed. Years later, Roman would admit that this moment forced him to look in the mirror, not as the character, not as the chosen one, but as Joe Noe, a man who knew he had let people down. He let down the company, he let down the locker room, and most importantly, he let down himself. For the first time in his main roster career, Roman wasn't protected by the machine. He was exposed, and he knew he had to earn back every ounce of trust he had lost. When he returned from that suspension, something felt different. The anger in his promos no longer felt scripted. The edge he had wasn't just character work anymore. It felt deeply personal. Fans started to notice it too. This wasn't the smiling, invincible hero that WWE. This was a frustrated, hardened performer who understood that from now on, every single mistake would be magnified, and every slip-up would be punished twice as hard. He was walking on eggshells on top of a mountain. So Roman stopped trying to be loved. He stopped pandering for cheers. Instead, he started trying to survive. Every match became a statement. Every promo carried a new kind of tension. It wasn't the easy confidence of a chosen one anymore. It was the intense pressure of a man fighting for his spot all over again. Because now, Roman Reigns knew something that most top stars never have to experience. What it feels like to fall while you're still standing at the very top. That suspension didn't just damage his image. It completely reshaped his mentality. WWE no longer had the luxury of presenting him as a flawless hero. And honestly, Roman no longer believed in that version of himself ever. The man who came back wasn't fighting for cheers anymore. He was fighting for credibility. And that internal shift, that resentment, that hunger, that raw edge, it quietly laid the foundation for everything that came later. The tribal chief, the historic dominance, the cold, controlled authority that we see today. That character didn't just come from a writer's room. It wasn't born out of a creative meeting. It was born from embarrassment. It was forged in backlash. It was created from the knowledge that he had messed up on the biggest stage, and he made a decision right then and there that he would never, ever be that vulnerable again. The 2016 wellness policy suspension wasn't just a setback for Roman Reigns, it was a crossroads. He could have easily cracked under the weight of the failure and the fan hatred. He could have faded into the upper mid-card, a cautionary tale of a push gone wrong. Instead, he hardened. He absorbed the pressure and used it to build an armor of cold indifference. And that's why, years later, when the audience finally truly believed in him, it wasn't because WWE told them to. It wasn't because of another forced coronation. It was because Roman Reigns had already survived the one moment that was designed to break him. He had stared into the abyss of his own failure and emerged stronger, colder, and more determined than ever before. He didn't just become the head of the table. He built the table himself, out of the wreckage of his own shattered image. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe, And hit that notification bell for more stories from behind the curtain.